Daniel and Ryan grew up 3 streets apart. Same public school, same state university, same starting salary at 26, $58,000 a year. They both read the same personal finance books. They both avoided credit card debt. They both started contributing to their 401ks before their first anniversary at work. By every visible measure, they were doing the same things. Fast forward 15 years. Daniel's net worth is $47,000. Ryan's is $412,000. Same income, same city, same starting point. One habit separated them, and it had nothing to do with budgeting, investing strategy, or how many lattes they bought. Here's what Daniel did. He tracked his budget. Every month, he knew exactly what came in and exactly what went out. He used an app. He color-coded his categories. He knew his grocery spend down to the dollar. He felt in control. He felt responsible. And by every conventional personal finance metric, he was doing it right. He was living below his means. He was saving. He was following the playbook. Here's what Ryan did differently. He tracked his net worth. Not his budget, not his monthly cash flow, his net worth. One number, updated once a month. And that single shift in what he measured changed every financial decision he made for the next 15 years in ways he didn't fully understand until the gap became impossible to ignore. The conventional personal finance world has one religion, the budget. Track what you spend. Cut what you don't need. Live below your means. And it's not wrong. It's just incomplete in a way that quietly costs the people who follow it without question somewhere between a few $100,000 and a few $1,000,000 over the course of a working life. Here's what a budget actually measures. Cash flow, money in, money out, what's left. And cash flow is important, but it's not wealth. Cash flow is a speedometer. Net worth is the destination. And most people are so focused on the speed at which money moves through their hands that they never look up to check where they're actually going. Daniel knew every month whether he was on budget or off. What he never knew, what he never tracked, was whether he was getting wealthier. Those are two different questions, and for 15 years, he only asked the first one. Let's look at year one. Both Daniel and Ryan are 26, both earning $58,000, both saving around $400 a month after expenses. On paper, identical. Daniel opens his budgeting app. He sets his categories. He feels the satisfaction of the green bars staying inside the lines. He hits his savings target every month. He is the person his friends ask for budgeting advice. He is doing everything right. Ryan opens a simple spreadsheet. 2 columns, what he owns, what he owes. Assets minus liabilities. At 26, that number is almost nothing. Maybe $8,000. Mostly his 401k balance and a small emergency fund, minus his student loan balance. It's not impressive. But he writes it down, and the next month, he writes it down again. What changes when you track net worth instead of budget? Almost everything, and here's why. When you track a budget, you're asking one question every month. Did I overspend? The goal is to stay inside the lines. It's a defensive posture. You're managing outflows. When you track net worth, you're asking a completely different question. Did I get richer? And that question has a much more demanding answer. Because getting richer isn't just about spending less. It's about what your money is doing while you're not looking at it. It's about whether your assets are growing faster than your liabilities are shrinking. It's about whether that $400 a month in savings is sitting in a high-yield account, compounding in an index fund, or quietly losing ground to inflation in a checking account because you never thought past the act of saving it. The budget tells you whether you saved $400 this month. The net worth number tells you whether that $400 is actually building anything. By year 3, something quiet is already happening beneath the surface. Daniel is still hitting his budget. Green bars every month. His emergency fund is fully funded. His 401k is growing. He got a $4,000 raise and immediately updated his budget to reflect the new income. He spent about $2,000 of that raise on upgrading his apartment and $1,200 on a better car payment. The rest went into savings. He felt responsible about it. He absorbed the lifestyle increase gradually, naturally, the way everyone around him did. Ryan got the same raise. But when he opened his spreadsheet at the end of that month and updated his net worth, the raise showed up as a question. Not, what can I afford now? But, what does this do to the number? He put $3,200 of that $4,000 raise directly into his Roth IRA and taxable brokerage. Not because he was more disciplined than Daniel, because his measuring tool made the impact of that decision visible in a way Daniel's never did. This is the mechanism. And it's more psychological than mathematical. When you track net worth, every financial decision you make has a visible, immediate score attached to it. Spending $1,200 on a car upgrade doesn't feel like staying within my transportation budget. It shows up as a $1,200 decrease in your net worth column and a corresponding reduction in the compounding that money would have done over the next 12 years. That's not guilt. That's information. And information changes behavior at a level that willpower never can. Daniel wasn't making bad decisions. He was making decisions without a scoreboard that showed him what they actually cost. By year 7, the gap is starting to show. Daniel's net worth is sitting around $68,000. His 401k has grown to about $52,000. He has $12,000 in savings. He carries a small car loan. His budget is still clean. He still feels in control. But something nags at him. He's been doing this for 7 years, and the number doesn't feel like it should be bigger. He can't identify why. He's following the rules. The budget doesn't show you account optimization gaps. Daniel contributes to his 401k because his HR department told him to. He never looked at the expense ratios. He never opened a Roth IRA because his budget didn't have a category for it that screamed urgency. Ryan's monthly net worth update made the tax advantage space visible as an opportunity cost every single month he wasn't using it. The budget doesn't show you liability momentum. Daniel's student loans are on autopay. He makes the minimum payment because it's budgeted and manageable. It never feels urgent. Ryan's net worth statement showed him his loan balance sitting there every month, directly subtracted from his total. It created a pressure the budget never created. He aggressively paid down his highest rate loans in years 3 and 4, then redirected that exact payment amount into investments the day the loan cleared. The budget would have absorbed that freed up cash into lifestyle. The net worth statement made the move obvious. None of this is complicated. It's a measuring problem, not a discipline problem. Now, before this becomes a commercial for net worth tracking, let's talk about how people get it wrong. Because tracking your net worth without understanding what it should be telling you is just financial scorekeeping. And scorekeeping without strategy is entertainment, not wealth building. The most common mistake is treating net worth as a vanity metric. You update it every month, the number goes up, you feel good. You never ask why it went up or what's driving the growth. A rising net worth because your home appreciated is very different from a rising net worth because your invested assets compounded. One you're a passenger in, the other you're driving. If the majority of your net worth growth is tied to a single illiquid asset like a home, your net worth number is telling you something your budget definitely isn't. That your wealth is concentrated in one place and one market, and that's a risk hiding inside a good-looking number. The second mistake is updating the number without roading decisions through it. The net worth statement is only useful if you actually ask before major financial decisions. What does this do to the number? And is that the best use of this money right now? That question, asked consistently, is the actual habit. The spreadsheet is just the tool that makes the question necessary. So here is the framework. Simple enough to start tonight. Open a spreadsheet, 2 sections, assets and liabilities. Under assets, list every account balance, checking, savings, 401k, Roth IRA, HSA, taxable brokerage, and the current value of any property you own. Under liabilities, list every debt balance: mortgage, car loan, student loans, credit card balances. Subtract total liabilities from total assets. That number is your net worth today, updated on the same day every month. Set a calendar reminder. It takes 11 minutes. Once a month, after you update the number, ask 3 questions. Did it go up? Why? And is the reason it went up the best engine I have available right now? If it went up because the market moved, good. If it went up because you saved more, good. If it went up only because your home appreciated and your invested assets barely moved, that's information. Act on it. Here is what changes when you do this for 12 months consistently. The decisions that quietly erode wealth, the lifestyle creep after a raise, the idle cash in a low-yield account, the minimum payment on a debt you could be eliminating, the tax-advantaged account you never opened. They stop being invisible. They show up in the number every month. And once something is visible, it becomes a choice instead of a default. Daniel didn't lose to Ryan because he lacked discipline. He lost because his measuring tool optimized for the wrong thing for 15 years. A budget tells you whether you controlled your spending. A net worth statement tells you whether your financial life is working. They're not the same question, and for most people, only one of them ever gets asked. At year 15, Daniel's net worth sits at $47,000. He has done nothing financially reckless. He has budgeted every month. He has saved consistently. He is the person at work who talks about living below his means. He is behind by $365,000 to a man who made the same money, lived in the same city, and simply measured a different number. Ryan's $412,000 net worth at 41 is not the result of better investments, higher income, or extraordinary discipline. It's the result of asking a better question every month for 15 years. Did I get richer? And letting that question do the work that willpower, budgeting apps, and color-coded spreadsheets never quite manage to do on their own. The top 10% are not smarter. They are not luckier in most cases. They are not working harder. They are measuring something that forces better decisions automatically. And the gap between Daniel and Ryan is not the gap between success and failure. It's the gap between 2 measuring systems. One that tells you how well you controlled your money this month, and one that tells you whether your life is moving in the right financial direction at all. The budget will tell you whether you spent within your limits. The net worth number will tell you whether any of it actually matters. Which one are you tracking?